Hey there. Hello. How is it going? I hope you are blessed. I hope you are well. Check this out. You may have just come across a property that you inherited in North Carolina or really anywhere across the nation. And that's what we're going to talk about today. I am Courtney Rollins, host of the Life in Transitions Experts YouTube channel, Facebook group, and podcast. And I'm also owner and operator of Estate Pro Service, where I'm helping folks solve problems and create opportunities for income and wealth while making estate planning and probate easier. One of the main ways that I find property that I either invest in or help people come up with solutions to that is through the probate process. And a lot of those properties are actually inherited to someone. And although there are a percentage of folks who want to hold on to the property, keep them in the family, which is awesome, which is great, which I can help you secure that and make sure you don't have to go through probate again. There are some who want to turn it into a asset and turn it into a rental. I can also help with that. But also, there is a good amount of people who actually sell the property. About 60 to 70% of all property that's inherited is sold within the first 6 months. And so here's looking at some of the reasons why some of those folks may decide to actually sell their property for cash in North Carolina. There are many ways you can sell your property. The traditional route is listing it. Oftentimes, you'll have a real estate agent or a broker involved in there, and that's a great way, tried and true way to sell. But there are reasons why some folks don't want to put up with the hassle, are willing to trade speed and convenience quite often for a discounted price, and it makes sense for them. So that's what we're going to look at today. You might be one of those people, so you might see yourself in this. So let's take a look. 7 reasons to sell an inherited property for cash in North Carolina. Number one, you avoid the burden of maintenance. Now, in North Carolina, it is an as is state. However, when you're selling a property and there's inspections that are involved, quite often the seller or the buyer can, rightfully so, want those some type of remedy or some type of concessions for that. When you sell for cash to a cash buyer like me at Estate Pro Service, you don't have to worry about the maintenance. I actually just went into several houses in the last couple of days, and the last one I went into is going to need a full rehab. There's also actually tons of people that were living in and out of that house that were walking in and out that some I would imagine there's some drug use and some other things that are going on in there. And the seller doesn't have to worry about the burden of managing those folks that are living there or managing the tons of repair that's needed. That's now up to us to help manage those folks, make sure they get to the places they need to get to, and make sure we fix this property up and get it back up to the standard of what's happening in that neighborhood. A lot of great things are happening out there. This is in Durham, North Carolina. Some great changes happen. So I'm glad to be a part of that. So you would have to worry about that if you're selling to a cash buyer. Another thing is the speed and convenience. If you are going with a traditional listing, quite often there is a long process. People need to come check at the property. There's quite often the agent's going to try to make sure you get the most for your dollar. So there may be changes, repairs, and things that need to take place, and that's going to take some time that you may want back. And so a quick and convenient sell is another thing that a cash buyer can provide. Now, that immediate financial relief, getting that cash quickly is something that a lot of folks who inherit property want and need. Quite often the estate has bills, debt that needs to be paid, and the property is one of the bigger assets that can be unlocked so that someone can actually pay off the bills that are owed by the estate. And or at the same time, folks who heirs want their inheritance so they can go and invest that into whatever their next endeavor is. And so immediate financial relief is a great reason that people may sell their inherited property. You may also find or realize that when you're selling this way, it doesn't rely on the end buyer having financial contingencies. So, in other words, they don't have to worry about being approved for a loan. Cash buyers are just that, they have cash. Now, they may be working with private investors or even what some call hard money lenders, but those are the equivalent of cash. It doesn't have to go through a long credit check and all this and things of nature that it's like catching a feather sometimes. All these documents that need to be approved, and then you get to the end, and sometimes it's declined. There's no worries with that or concern for that if you have a vetted, trusted cash buyer. So make sure that whatever cash buyer you're working with, you can see the track record they have, where they can show that they won't need any financial contingencies. Also, the market fluctuation, the market's changing quite often. One great thing about real estate, I must say, is that uh, even though we have seen historically some huge drops and changes, um, they're not going to be 60, 50, whatever percent drop overnight like can happen in the stock market at times. However, that does not mean that the market doesn't change. And so yesterday's prices aren't today's prices. And we were coming out of a very hot real estate market, which is cooling off, it seems, North Carolina and other parts of the nation. And so if you're holding, you're waiting, that 6 months from now could be a big difference. 3 months from now could be a difference that's at least significant enough for you and your personal space in your world. So market fluctuation, get that price locked in, get that cash deal done quickly if that's what's best for you, and you'll be able to avoid the having to deal with the fluctuations in the market. And number six, now there's not an inheritance tax in North Carolina, and of course, check with your CPA, but you will inherit the property tax that takes place. And so, again, dealing with especially if you're out of state or if you're out of the county and you're not going to be utilizing this property, is now your responsibility, including the property taxes, the insurance. If there's a mortgage on there, the mortgage, you're responsible for that. But of course, if you decide to sell that, particularly to a cash buyer or to really any buyer, they're now responsible for that. So that's another reason someone may decide to sell the property. And also peace of mind. You know the job is getting done. You know you're in good hands. You know it's the process is going to be vetted, is vetted, and that's the way we earn a discounted price is by making it quick and convenient and taking care of the headaches and challenges for you. That might be number one. It's underlying all of these reasons: peace of mind. Now, if you want a heart, head, hands-on approach, check out Estate Pro Service Google reviews. I take great pride in the way well, connect with people and work with folks, and this is the approach, the Triple H, Hunter Hearst Hensley, Triple H approach, heart, head, and hands-on approach, and try to really make sure that we're fitting your needs. So feel free to call 919-341-1992, or you can email me at Courtney at Estate Pro Service, and would love to see how it may possibly be part of your journey. All right. You have a great day. This is the Life in Transitions Experts channel. That's LITE. Let your light shine. Cheers.